Hey, I think we're live.
We are live.
Hello. Have we got
Hello.
anybody with us yet? Hi.
Welcome everybody to our third live.
Whoa.
Don't do that there. 3. Not that.
And look what we're having tonight. We've done the gin.
It's backwards.
What? I know I'm going to surprise them.
Okay.
So today I was in Asda and I am convinced I found this for £3. And it's Sauvignon Blanc. And it's from New Zealand, which is supposed to be the best, or one of the best. And I'm convinced it's £3, but Dave won't have it.
It was $7.50. He did his usual thing and not look at the price probably.
No, it was on the £3 bottle. But anyway, it better be nice.
When has ever a bottle of wine been £3? Ever?
Well, that's why I thought it was such a good deal.
Typical Mike. This is why we're skinned.
Well, I wouldn't have cared what it tasted like at £3, but I'm a bit. It better be nice now. Now it's £7.50.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be. We'll pour that now.
But anyway, last week we had a problem with some people told us that they couldn't put questions. So I'm hoping that it's okay today. So if anybody is here and can just say hi, just so that we know that we're up and running. And that we're working.
And remember, you have to be signed in as well to comment. You can't just view it unsigned in.
Yeah. And also, if there are any questions, then please put question before your question, and that helps us pick them out. So anyway, Dave, today we're going to particularly sort of talk about, we're happy to answer questions on anything, Marella, but today we're going to talk about the Taste of the Tropics cruise.
Yes, on the Voyager.
We did December last year.
We did, and it was, to be fair, one of the best itineraries I think we've ever done.
Yeah, because we'd done the Caribbean the year before, and we thought, oh, there's a lot of places on this one that we haven't been. So we thought we'll go back to the Caribbean, and that will probably mean we'll have done what we wanted to do there, because there were places like Grenada, Tobago, Guadaloupe. And these are places that I'd heard of, but I never thought that I'd ever get to go to. And of course, we love the itineraries with Marella because you don't get many sea days. And so if we start from the beginning, I just want to say, first of all, if you're joining the ship and you're only doing the Taste of Tropics, don't worry when you get there. It's all sort of so easy. When you get to the port, first of all, I will say, I think I've mentioned this before, but in case anybody hasn't been here before, when you get to the port, airport, I was quite surprised that you are put on a coach straight off the plane and taken straight to the port. And it was brilliant because you bypassed the airport. And as you get there, when you get to the ship, you go through the embarkation process, and they will give you this, your adventure starts here. It has got everything you need to know in this leaflet. It talks about dining, dress code, bars, duty-free, money exchange, destination experiences. So lots of information on that one. And can you remember what else happened in the embarkation?
I think you said to them when we got off the plane, we're straight through, yeah? So we've got off the plane, we've gone straight onto our coach, straight through to the embarkation. And I remember it vividly because it was Mark and Jack's first time, and I was really conscious about the fact that it was going to be really stressful. But it was like fluid.
It was so easy.
We must have queued for about, no word of lie, 3 or 4 minutes. That was it. Straight over, photographs taken. They didn't ask for it. We always get told, make sure you take proof of your insurance. We never get asked, ever.
No.
We've always got it, obviously. And of course, they just sign us in, give us our cards, and away we went. It was that simple.
Yeah. And then, of course, you get on the boat, and usually the first thing you'll do is go to find your room. Sometimes your luggage has beat you there. Sometimes it hasn't. But certainly once you're on the boat, you can just relax, go get a drink, take it easy. And at some point, you will need to watch a safety video in your room. And also, you will need to go to a muster station. Now, on the Voyager, it was different to the Explorer. The Voyager, you could go anytime after, say, 4 p.m. And it was open for quite a while. Whereas when we went on the Explorer recently, they had it really late at night, and it was literally to try and shorten the process for the staff and crew. And I actually think that worked better, really.
It did work better, but am I mistaken by saying on the Explorer as well, there was a lot of delays and a lot of late flights, so it wasn't working very well.
Yeah.
Because of course it's usually a set time when it all happens, but it was happening all the way through the night because the unfortunately the flights, we flew a week before that massive thing happened, and there was trouble then, wasn't there, with the delays and stuff. But I
have to say, just before we carry on, I'm a bit worried that nobody can type a comment in. So please, if you can, just put hi in the chat, just so that we know that it is working.
I will write.
We've got 8 people here, so
I've written one.
There you go. So it's working.
Works.
If it's working for you, it's probably working for everybody else. So yeah, the embarkation was really simple, wasn't it?
It was really, really easy. And to be fair though, I'm going to say this: it's been easy on every Marella ship that we've been on.
Yeah.
Oh, apart from Discovery 2 the first time, because we were late, remember, and it was really manic because we needed to get on quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, that wasn't great.
Remember, we did Discovery 2 and we were late, and we sort of boarded in Jamaica, and because we were so late, the drive to the cruise ship was just a nightmare. They were pipping the horns, and I've got a video on it somewhere, and it was so funny. Oh, we've got some Graham. Lovely to have you back again. And Alison.
Hi, Bone. And Graham.
Hi, Bone, as well. Hi.
Yes. Hello, all. How are you?
So, yeah, if you're late, then you can have a bit of a hair-raising drive to the boat, because they're
hair-raising? Yeah. We had a police escort. We had sirens on in front. We had a police escort. Are you taking them at then? Because I've got to raise.
What's this wine like?
Really nice. I've already finished mine. So Marella have always been really fluid, really good at their embarkation. And to be fair, I haven't got a moan at all, because we can't judge Discovery. We were late. No. That wasn't the fault of the cruise ship.
Exactly. It's always been a sort of really easy process, and if for those that haven't cruised before, as I say, you're given information all the way along the way, because you get that. Obviously, when you get on board, you'll have the cruise news. It's just so easy.
It's quite good as well, though, because like on here, you can meet your team before you've even started. So, like Mike said there, it's really informative. Really informative about what's on there. It tells you everything you need to know about everything on the ship. And I can't remember the Mike. Was it given to us at the check-in, or was it given to us on the bus when we got on?
No, I think it was given to you when you get to the.
Because I think personally,
when you get to the port,
this would have been better being given when you got on that bus, being a handout,
so you could have something to read.
Well, no, not so much that, so you could prepare. Like I said to you, there is so much information here from dining times, dress codes, everything. And if you're a first-time cruiser, I remember when we did our first cruise, I didn't have a clue what we were meant to do.
I think maybe it might be a good idea to do. I'll do a short video on this and go through the whole leaflet as a video, so that you haven't got to read it all.
It'd be quite good, I think. Like I said to you, it's a good tool for new cruisers as well.
But if you're doing the Taste of Tropics, then of course you're going to get on in Barbados, and you don't really get the chance the first day you get to Barbados. We didn't see anything in Barbados our first week we got there, but we were doing Paradise Islands. But of course, because we were doing the 2 cruises, when we got back after the first week, we had a day in Barbados, and we were going to keep it quite simple, weren't we?
Yes. Yeah, go on, you tell them, because I'm just going to get Leo, because the dog's looking at me.
I think the dog wants some attention. So, yeah, Barbados, we decided that we could walk from the cruise ship and go to a place called the Boatyard, which is quite a well-known, it's like a beach club, isn't it?
It's exactly that, Mike.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 actually on that beach. I'm not sure. There might be 2.
The Boatyard's the most well-known.
The Boatyard is the most well-known and the most expensive, because it's not as... Right, let's strip it back to the start, okay? So we were all set to go there. We met some people that had done the 2 weeks before, and he'd said the Boatyard isn't what it was. Now, we've never been there before, so we've got nothing to judge it with, but we started to do some research, and it was a lot more expensive than it used to be. You didn't get as much in your money, because if I remember rightly, there used to be a free drink on arrival, entry, a locker.
Your free snorkeling trip.
Free snorkeling trips as well.
Yeah.
What we found when we got there, because obviously we chose not to do this, we walked from the ship, which was actually a really nice walk. It was all pathed. It was lovely. When we got there, we decided to just enter the beach a little bit further down the beach. To our amazement, when we reached the beach, there was horses bathing in the water, which was stunning. We didn't manage to capture that, did we?
Yeah, not a sight you see every day, is it? It was brilliant.
So of course we there was a guy selling not selling them, but like hiring out sunbeds there. And I think we got them for, I want to say 15 for the two.
Yeah, it was cheap, wasn't it?
It was $15 for the two sunbeds, which is stupidly cheap. And of course, we then just walked up the beach to buy a beer from one of the bars. But unfortunately, the boatyard wouldn't allow us to buy alcohol from them because we didn't pay the entrance fee, even though you can reach the boatyard from the beach. And the thing that really annoyed me about it was it's selling all this stuff, like you can do this there, but you could still go in the sea, you could still go on the pier. There was inflatables in the water that no one would have known.
The only thing that I was really sort of wanting to do was the snorkel trip. But when I actually saw them all getting on the boat and the amount that was crowded on, and somebody had told us that when you go out, you swim to the one spot, and by the time you've swum to that spot, it's time to go back to the boat. And that sort of put us off as well.
Do you not remember when we were snorkeling in the sea? The boats were literally about 10 meters away.
Yeah. So
they didn't even go that far.
Yeah.
Crazy. But anyway.
Right, there's a question.
Oh, where are we? Michelle. Okay. Hello,
Hi,
Michelle. How are you? Hi, is there always people at the port selling excursions, and are their prices better than TUI? Right.
Always.
Right. But this is the problem. Okay. So yes, there are a lot of them. You might get a lot of sellers there. They're not governed by anything. So when we go on TripAdvisor and we look at other companies, we're looking at their ratings. We're doing a lot of pre-research first. I would feel a little bit worried about booking a tour like from somewhere at the side of a road. Remember, you've got to get back in time. If you don't get back in time, that ship's going with or without you. And I just think it's not covered in the insurance probably.
What I would say is that the Caribbean have been having cruise guests for years and years and years. So they're very adept at being at the port for you to take the opportunity when you get off the boat. Now, you will find people. Sometimes it was absolutely like St Kitts on the Paradise Islands. The minute you got off, there were just loads and loads of them. And it's like that in most of the ports. So yes, if you get off the boat, you will be able to book something. But of course, haggle the price. Secondly, make sure you know what and where you're going. Thirdly, be prepared that they probably have got a coach or a minibus to fill. So you are probably, if you're one of the first, going to be sat on that minibus waiting for them to take you away. Now, when I can't really comment on people that are at the ports. I did look at private companies before we went. And I have to say that I thought TUI were really competitive with their prices. The prices were not a lot more for some of the trips. But what I found was that trips from the island with private companies tended to be a little bit longer. So a similar trip that TUI would do would be 3 hours, but the private one with sort of the island group would be 4 hours. But yes, TUI, you're going to pay a little bit more, but you've got the security that you're not going to be stuck and left in the port. If you have gone on a TUI trip, they have to wait with the boat until they get you back. So you've got to weigh it up what's worth it. The only thing I would say as well with private companies booking in advance, not the people that are on the port, but looking at companies that are local and booking with them, make sure that they have a good cancellation policy. Usually a lot of the good ones you can cancel right up to the day before because itineraries changed, and we've had itinerary changes, haven't we?
Yep.
So make sure that you've got that cancellation policy, and obviously check with TripAdvisor and Trustpilot. check with things like that to make sure that they have got good reputations.
Cool. I hope that's answered your question, Michelle.
Shall we go through sort of our stops and the trips we
Yes.
did? So Barbados, if you are there for 2 cruises, you will get the time to go out on the turnaround. The boatyard, personally for us, I've heard lots of people say they love it. Personally, I don't think we regret not going to the boatyard. The beach was lovely. We could get drinks at the place next to the boatyard, and so all was fine. But anyway, moving on. Obviously, don't miss the sail away party if it's your first day. Sail away parties are great fun on the deck. And then our second day was in Tobago.
Yes. I always forget. I get mixed up all the time with what's what. So first of all, refresh me what happened to Tobago.
Right, we did Tobago South Tour with TUI, and we went. It was a 3-hour course. It was a 3-hour trip, and it cost us £42 each, which is quite reasonable. So yes, that's the one where we met a guide. Do you want to talk about the guide?
Yes, I know. No. So we met a lovely lady called I want to say Leslie.
Yeah, it was Leslie.
Leslie was actually a professional singer by day and night.
She's quite well known in Tobago.
And she also was a tour guide. Honestly, she could brighten up any room. She was absolutely fantastic. And she was constantly taking requests for songs, and she'd sing them. She knew them all. So there is a video somewhere with her on it.
Yeah.
Make sure you go and check that one out.
On the coach, she was just singing all the time. And she took requests, and I said, please, do you know Islands in the Sun?
She knew
and off she went. Oh, Islands in the Sun.
The problem we've got is that was a TUI trip.
Yes.
And you're not guaranteed to have her. I don't know what
No.
the others were like, but
No.
she made that trip amazing.
But with that trip, we went to a fort, which had lovely views down to the harbour, the port. So we had a good view of the ship. There was a museum there. The museum was a bit, it was like Important People of Tobago Museum. We didn't go in, but
it was boring.
Yeah, it was
really boring. To be fair, I'm going to say this: the itinerary sounded good, but in reality, it wasn't that good.
No.
So, like I said, the fort at the beginning was beautiful for the views.
Yeah, it was good for the views.
However,
we had a little look round.
Be mindful you're not allowed to take film or anything in the museum itself. And then, of course, the second one was the tomb.
We went to this tomb of this lady that had a really famous
story. It was weird.
It had a famous tombstone. I should have written it down.
It was basically almost like
nobody can work it out.
Her script on the tombstone was almost a bit like a riddle. No one could work it out.
Let's see if I can find it quickly. I don't know. It's going to take too long. I don't want to mess around because we've got some more questions.
So alongside that tomb, just a bit further down, was this old cottage as such, with a lovely viewpoint again,
which had a few more cannons.
Yeah,
but it had a bit of a country cottage garden just along the cottage.
It did, but it was right on the sort of cliff edge with a nice view. But again, nothing really.
Remember that from there you could look across, and there was the most beautiful beach, and we never went to that.
Around.
Yeah, we wanted to go there,
and it did actually look like that. Even though you say it doesn't look like that, a few nice 5-star hotels on, but hey ho.
Yeah.
And then from there, we went to...
we went shopping.
We did. We went to
surprise.
A very strange sort of place. And it was a captive market, if I'm honest. So we went in and it was just walk down to the beach. The most beautiful beach. However, we were told we weren't allowed on the beach, which was weird because I didn't think anyone could own a beach. But hey-ho, we weren't allowed on the beach. We could look at it. And there was some vendors and some shops around there.
It was quite disappointing.
Boring.
So one of the questions just come through. Is there any trips that is a must? And also any that we wouldn't recommend? Well, I don't know what trips you're doing, but or whether you're doing both cruises or just the one. Regarding this cruise, I really don't think that this one we're talking about now was worthwhile.
No.
The stops were short and just not very interesting. And as I say, at the ending was shops and a beach that we couldn't even go on, which was a bit ridiculous. But we did discover giant tip tops.
Oh wow! So our friends Mark and Jack were talking to Leslie while we were off filming, and she'd recommended these tip tops. I think they were $1 for 4 or something like that, were they?
Yeah, something like that.
Like stupidly cheap. They were massive, but they were made of like real fruit juice. Oh my God, they were so nice. If I could have those in this country, I'd have a million of them in my freezer because they were beautiful. But that was the highlight of the trip for me. Leslie and the Tip Tops.
Leslie made the trip because she was just such fun. And if you've seen our Caribbean diary on Tobago, then you will see plenty of Leslie because we had such a laugh with her. We've got a few catching up to do.
Here we go.
Hello, Martin.
Hi,
Good
Martin.
evening to
How are you?
And so certainly Tobago South, because you can't guarantee getting Leslie, then we would say is probably not the best trip. We did a trip, if you are doing the British Virgin Islands on Paradise Islands, we did a trip there that was horrendous. I can't remember what the trip was called. Oh, was it Tortola South or something?
You always ask me, and you know I've got a terrible memory.
I will find it out. I will find it out at some point while we're doing this. But that was a bad trip. But really, the trips we had were all quite good, weren't we? As for trips that you've got to do, if you're doing Paradise Islands as well as Taste of the Tropics, definitely look at river cruising, the river tubing in Dominica.
Amazing.
We had such a laugh. It was a brilliant day.
Even the boat trip in St Lucia, we'll talk about at the end.
Oh, we've got St Lucia to come, my favourite of all.
Can we quickly move on to Michelle has asked again, stated, sorry, I went there too soon. We're going over Christmas on Discovery 2. My daughter is 11. Did you find many children on board? Right. First things first, we went at Christmas and we loved it. It was absolutely amazing at Christmas time. And no, there wasn't that many children. There was children, but I could probably count about 4 or 5 children. Remember the 2 kids playing football?
Yeah, there were kids that were dancing in the evenings, that were loving the dancing.
But it wasn't busy.
But there certainly weren't a lot of kids. So,
but if your daughter's 11, I'm pretty sure that there's, I can't remember the age of the M Club, whether it's because the mini M's, isn't there? And
yes.
There's the M Club, and I'm pretty sure the M Club's geared up for like kids to like early teens, and then you've got like the teenage rooms. And
I think it's about 10 to 15, 16, something like that.
I think she'll be absolutely fine and loads to do for her. And of course, then she's also got the playroom. So there's the computer rooms. There's the chill out rooms with the air hockey and stuff. So she makes friends on board. Happy days.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be other children, but you will not get loads and loads. No. Certainly we didn't experience that.
Explorer was the worst for kids. I mean, Discovery 2 and Voyager were absolutely fine, but Explorer was pretty riddled with kids.
You can't say that.
I know, I'm only joking. I love kids.
Yeah, so you will, but there's not many, or there weren't many on ours.
No. Graham,
yes.
Winkworth, we are doing the same 2 weeks cruise, and when we get to Guadeloupe, we want to do the Death in Paradise trip. Did 2 offer this trip when you went? They did. We didn't do it. We did nothing in Guadeloupe.
Is it good? Because we have never watched Death in Paradise. So is it any good? Are we missing out on something? We probably are now, because we'd be saying, oh, we went there. But no, they were offering it definitely, and it will definitely be an option, not only on TUI, on your cruise planner. There will be a lot of offers for that trip when you get off the boat.
Funny feeling, Mike, it's going to be one of the trips that gets booked out very fast. So I'd always be keeping an eye for when they become available to sort of buy.
Because usually the cruise planner, most of them are on. With the sort of these cruises, they were on much earlier. Normally it's about 3 months, but I'm sure they came on. We could get into the cruise planner about 4 weeks, but it was very patchy. They came in bits and drabs. But I think because we were, it's the first time it was a new ship and first time it had been to the Caribbean, this ship, then I think they were struggling to finalize a lot of the trips. So hopefully, whether they've dropped any of the trips, whether they're different.
I just need to sort of link in here with John's question because it's very similar. Yeah. So John, hello, John Freeman.
Hi, John.
Nice
Good to see you.
Again.
I got my flamingos on. That was just for you.
John's put, so he's been on cooking duties all week, bless you. I hope everyone's okay. A question: we leave for Voyager in 8 weeks' time, but shows no availability left on restaurants to book. Is this normal? Yes. We had a terrible time.
No, I don't think it.
No, we did. I remember it was late and you were panicking and we couldn't get the things.
No. I think. Yeah, they came on.
It was restaurants.
It was Silver, but Silver Fork I was told you're not going to be able to book that till you're on the ship. But that appeared about a week before we were due to set sail. All I can say with these things, John, is I went on every week, mainly because I was desperate to book the exchange. So, in fact, I was probably checking 3 or 4 times a week because I was determined I was going to get tickets to the exchange.
The one you need to look out for.
They will go, and it's a must do. For us, we went to both the Heist and the Lock-in, and they were we just laughed the whole time. So, a bit Marmite, I think. You'll love it or hate it, but we're definitely on the love it side.
Definitely.
Any more questions before we go on to Grenada?
Sue, I'm confused. You've put the word both, but I don't really
both.
understand.
I think means doing both the cruises.
Okay.
Well, we did Paradise Islands 2 weeks ago, so I don't think we got to. I think because of all the other questions, I don't think we actually talked that much in the end about it, did we?
No, we didn't, to be fair.
No, but anyway,
right.
Both cruises brilliant, so you'll love it.
John has also stated Tortola think he went to Cane Garden Bay on a dodgy open truck bus, looked unsafe.
Yes,
that was. Yes, that was awful.
I think it was a Jeep put down as a Jeep safari, but the seats were facing each other. And poor Dave, his springs are gone. And
I don't think my back has recovered. But the worst thing was, do you know that moment when you're all walking in massive groups, like in your different groups, and you can see all these lovely vehicles, and then you just see that one shed right in the back.
Keep talking. I'm going to find out. There it is. Touring Tortola and Beach, it was called.
Yeah, but can I just quickly say though, Mike, they might not get that same. It was just that truck.
No, exactly.
Because there was other ones there.
Yeah, but the trip itself was only rescued by the most fantastic beach. If you were with us 2 weeks ago, we sort of said about. What did we say about?
I've had all my wine. He's had none of his.
I haven't had any yet. I forgot.
2 weeks ago, we said.
Yeah, we said something.
We were talking about the trip, right?
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah,
Grenada.
It was horrific. It was horrific, John. And hopefully, if you do it, because like I said to you, the beach is amazing. You won't get the same bus, but all you're doing really on that trip is you're stopping in laybys to take photographs and going to a beach.
That's what I was trying to say, wasn't it?
You're better off looking for a taxi company that can take you. And which leads me back to, I think it might have been Sue or somebody stated earlier about ports. Michelle Ludgate. There are a lot of vendors outside of the port there selling trips. Now, because the beach is not that far away, maybe you probably could do it there and then, opposed to booking it with TUI, because it'll probably be cheaper. And there's not, because we did a little walk around the town as well, didn't we? And that was a bit boring. Yeah. Nice.
In fact, we found all of the ports in the Caribbean a little bit.
But that's the difference. The difference with the Caribbean to European cities is there's nothing there. You've got to go to places. But I love European ports of call because you're right there usually in the thick of it, aren't you?
Yeah. Let's go on to Grenada because I want to get through all these islands this time.
But Rob, there's one more question.
All right, go on then. We'll get the questions. They're more important.
Last question from Rob Govan. Hello. Hi, guys. Can you recommend a suntan lotion for the Caribbean? This is all dependent on your skin. So I'm dark-skinned. Michael
I burn easy.
He burns like one and tans, and then our friend Jack is very fair-skinned. So it all depends on you. I mean, I shouldn't say this because, unfortunately, there are people in my family with skin cancer, but I can go out in the sun all day without anything on and not burn. So it's
without anything on.
I'm sure there's a video on that.
Do you want to clarify that?
But again, that's down to me. We tend to go for there's a Calypso once a day that we found that we quite like. It's like a clear gel. You put it on, it absorbs into your skin, and that's it once a day. You can swim with it and all sorts of stuff. I recommend it because I've never burnt on it, but like I said to you, that's down to you. It's personal skin preference.
Yeah, I mean, I can burn, but I've been all right with that, so I'm happy with that. Was it factor 50?
You can get 50, 30, 20. You can even get a nose one. They sell it in B&M, Home and Bargains, and Body Care. I've seen it. I'm pretty sure they sell it elsewhere as well, but it's called once a day, and it's quite good. I hope that's answered your question for you.
Martin's asking about whether you can book can you book specialty restaurants and customer relations once on board?
Can I quickly jump in here, Mike?
Yeah.
Sorry. we had a problem with the restaurants. I'm sure it was the speciality not Silver Fork, on Explorer, where you're not meant to be able to book those on the app. It's got to be booked on the ship. Because remember, we booked it, we paid for it, and then they tried to charge us again. They said you shouldn't be able to have booked that.
Ah, yes.
And I'm sure that was...
It was Silver Fork.
But on Explorer it would have been. So it would have been...
no, it was Voyager.
It wasn't Voyager. It was the last cruise.
Oh, it was the dining club then.
The dining club. So what I'm saying to you is, I believe that you shouldn't be able to book their big speciality, like the dining club or the...
well, normally you can't, because I was really amazed.
Well,
Silver Fork.
Even he was.
Yeah.
Because you were there, weren't you? He said you should have been able to book that. But we had the proof. We booked it. It got on the app by mistake. So...
I personally think the best thing to do, we love to do a speciality restaurant and a day at sea, because you've got nothing else that day to look forward to. Well, you have, but you're not going off the boat, etc. We like to spoil ourselves on a sea day, and we did Silver Fork on the Voyager on the sea day. And I mean, the Silver Fork, we're lucky we were able to book it. A lot of these, there's usually one restaurant, the top one, like the dining club, Silver Fork, that you shouldn't be able to book on the app, but it did come on the app before we left here, so keep checking. I would say that because if you want to pick a particular time, we're early eaters, so we like to eat at 6:30. So for us, we like to also space them out. So personally, I think the best way is to go on the cruise planner and book them on there. But you would certainly be able to book them on the Navigate app when you get on the ship, but you would be able to book them at reception or the customer relations there as well. So number of options. Of course, the longer you leave it, the less likely you're going to get the time slot you want or the day you want. But I mean, we've never had a problem getting in a speciality restaurant. So the only one that is a problem is on the Voyager is the exchange. And they were very hard tickets to get.
Yeah, because we did manage to get the, not the exchange. What's the other one? There's two. There's the exchange and the...
No, it's the lock-in and the
lock-in.
heist.
That's right, the lock-in and the heist. So we couldn't get ones for the the heist. That's right, the heist. But we were fortunate to have found a way in. But yes, worth it. Get on there quickly. Mick, there's a few more come on, so I apologize. Martin Rowe.
Oh, mother-in-law's here. Hey, Eileen.
Hi, Eileen and Louise. Hello there.
Louise is with her. Oh, hi, Louise.
Bless you. John Freeman, when taking non-organised trips with other vendors, be aware many are not insured or even licensed. Shall the certificate show? Exactly, John. And this is why we stated at the beginning about how dangerous it is to actually go with someone who is on the street side. If vendors aren't authenticated by, like you said, your authentication certificate or anything like that, don't go there. Like I said to you, we pre-book ours. We go on TripAdvisor. We do so much research. We've only been let down once, and that was in Cozumel. Remember when they didn't show? And we got a full refund. But you could book with a vendor that might tell you to go down the bottom of the pier and take a right and wait there, and then they never come again, and you might just lose your money. So
sometimes you have to accept that the weather can be very unpredictable in the Caribbean, and you can get conditions where they will cancel the trips, particularly if you're going out on a boat, catamaran or something. If the weather isn't good, they will cancel it. And that's happened to us a couple of times now. Yeah,
so be savvy, be clever, book chewy or book with a...
I mean, I think we never heard of anybody having problems. I think like they are geared up for the cruise tourism there. They've been doing it for years, but yes, you are taking a risk, which is why you pay a little bit more for TUI sometimes. But moving on, Grenada.
Yes,
Grenada.
It's Grenada.
Yeah.
Right, so I've got to try to remember again.
The water taxi, straight off the boat.
Right. First things first, let's start with the port. So they have a great cruise port there, loads of shops. It's basically like a town centre in the cruise port. There's shops everywhere, there's aircon, there's Wi-Fi. Anything that you need good place to stock up with if you need something for the ship. Loads of shops, like I said to you there. Even the town's quite pretty as you go at the back. But by the by, next to the cruise ship, you will find water taxis going to Grandance Beach. And that is where we went. And it is stunning. It is so beautiful on that beach. Your typical palm trees, tropical, lush, but it's busy. And be mindful, guys, that when you get off the pier where the water taxi drops you off, it will be rammed with vendors trying to sell you sunbeds for their location. Don't bother.
Yeah, Grandance Beach, we just used our towels because we wanted the shade, and there is shade under the trees at the back of the beach.
Yeah.
So we didn't need sun chairs there at all. I will say as well that to get the water taxi, it was $10 each return.
Yeah.
And you get dropped off at a little jetty and you catch it to come back from there. And I have to say, I think if you want a chilled day, go to Grandance Beach. It was so easy. Literally, as you step off and come off the boat, you will see the water taxis to the left, or it was.
It is, yeah.
It's easy to see where the water taxi is, and definitely we would recommend.
If I'm not mistaken, it's a 2-ship port, so
you've got to come off and go left.
It's always going to be to the left.
Yeah.
But can I just quickly add tips for the beach? So this is quite important because it's very hot. Don't leave your stuff unattended. There are thefts on that beach. One of the security guards walked up and told us that, so we were quite mindful of that. Take plenty of water. Shade is not always sort of like at hand. Don't go to where it's busy. Walk up the beach, and all of a sudden it just becomes dead. And the beach is even more pretty at the top. And lots of sort of overhanging trees to get some shade on. Water, fan, sun cream. I got sunburned. So not sunburned. I got sunstroke on that day on my arm. It didn't burn, but it was boiling hot, and I just felt rough all night. So please, guys, make sure that you take some shade.
It can be very hot.
Yeah,
but it's definitely something that we recommend. Unless there is something specific you want to see on Grenada, then for a nice chill day, a nice beach, easy to get there, no hassle, then definitely consider the water taxi to Grandance Beach.
Got to quickly say, John. Yeah. Oh, I felt like that. John, I'm actually unemployed now, so I'm not drinking on duty anymore. And it's wine today. We thought we'd try out this wine. But yes, everybody watching, I am now officially unemployed. I do not have a job until next Monday. Come in when I start my new job. So I've got some well-deserved hours.
Yeah, you're going to tell them what you're doing?
And what, in my personal life?
If you're on if you're travelling in the UK on Transport for Wales trains,
then I might be asking
look
you
out
for
for
your
Dave.
Like, tickets, please. Anyone want a Kit Kat?
And make sure you say hello if you see him.
Yes,
because we have got a bit of a problem with travelling, haven't we, now, for about the next 6 months. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I might start exploring the trains till we can travel again, because Dave's got quite an intensive training period. So we're going to be struggling, but I've still got lots of videos I want to do. Going on, any more questions before we move on?
Food as well.
So after Grenada, it was Guadaloupe.
Oh. Guadaloupe was a letdown for me. Now, bearing in mind, Guadaloupe is actually quite pretty in its own right, because Guadeloupe is French, and it takes that old New Orleans vibe. That New Orleans vibe, but it's quite ramshackled. So it's not stunning in its nature, but you can definitely see that old Creole sort of vibe going on, can't you?
Oh yeah, and very French influenced. Because of course, obviously, if you are going to Guadeloupe, make sure you've got some euros. Although we paid card everywhere and it was accepted everywhere. But yeah, the town was a little bit disappointed. I think we'd heard it was dangerous in Guadeloupe, but I have to say I didn't fear anything, any danger. I think we felt quite safe walking around.
You had me with him. So.
You're not a policeman anymore. But yeah, we felt quite safe, and we just wandered around the town, and there wasn't a lot to see. There was a park with animal murals, which was quite nice.
Quite a few statues.
And we did get the chance to spend some time in a cafe that had really good internet.
Hold on, though. Quickly rewind before that. Michael got told off. We were in the market, the spice market, and he was filming, and a woman told him off, and it was hilarious. So the spice market is first. you might see some beautiful spices being sold. And then we went to this cafe, like you said.
Yeah.
And I went up in true French style and ordered all a beer in French.
Go on then, say it.
I forgot.
Deux bières, s'il vous plaît.
No, I'd say bonjour.
Bonjour. Ça va?
Je voudrais, is that right? Je voudrais.
Yeah, I would like.
Quatre bières, merci.
Deux bières, s'il vous plaît.
No, it was cat because there was 4 of us.
All right, okay.
And then I paid for it because she knew what I was on about. But anyway, this cafe was just on the side there, really, really pretty. Did what I said on the tin, and it had great Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi you're going to struggle in some places as well.
Definitely Guadeloupe. I would look for a trip somewhere. I think there's very little to see in the town. It's not very interesting. It is, of course, the place where you can go and do the Death in Paradise trip. And that is very popular. If I know a lot of people do that will sell out. So if you've not been on the cruise planner and booked it, think about doing that as soon as you can, if that's what you want to do. But yeah, Guadeloupe, I would say look for an excursion somewhere. I think we weren't too bothered, were we? Because we were well into our second week by now, and we were sort of tripped out, weren't we?
We were. John makes a good point. He said take some all denominations of notes to avoid got no change rip-off being given change in Caribbean dollars. Right, we've thought of this before. So we've been to different islands and we've been given change in their local currency and they can't use it. This is why we use a Starling card, don't we?
Yeah.
We have a Starling account because that converts it to the best rate, so you don't get charged like
and you
would
can withdraw from
cash points
out
there
points
for free. Now, the reason why we do this is because when you're in the Caribbean, there are so many different nationalities you go into. It might be American dollars. It might be, it was euros in Guadeloupe, if I'm not mistaken, because it's French. So you're best off, if you're going to go away, taking a card with you that you know is going to give you the best sort of rate. Yeah. Because we've been done before. Was it Costa Rica?
It was Cuba.
It was Cuba, yeah. And they gave us it in their currency,
and then stuck with it.
We couldn't use it ever again. So it was pointless.
Yeah, so good point, John. If you're going, don't accept change back in their currency. Make sure you get change back in dollars, because if you have it in their currency, it'll be worthless. It'll be drop it in the airport box donation.
And yes, cat beer, s'il vous plaît.
Okay.
Merci, John. Merci.
Well done, John.
Okay.
So after Guadeloupe, I think we had a sea day. And as I say, we did Silver Fork because we like to do a nice restaurant on the sea day.
Oh, can I quickly say, always go clubbing or drinking or partying on the day before your sea day.
Yes.
That's what we always do.
Some people, when they've had a drink, are late out of bed.
Well, to be fair, I'm not. I'm usually up at 6 in the morning to top deck. That's only because if anyone knows me, I'm the most awful sleeper there is. But yeah, for us, if you're going to be booking trips, don't be drinking the night before, because if you miss it, they won't wait for you. And of course, some of them can be quite early. I mean, we've been out sometimes as early as like 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, do a half 7?
No, we often go up at I'm often up about 6.
No. I'm on about when you get into port, your excursion starts.
Right, okay.
I'm sure we've done some really early ones.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. So with us, we tend to do all our partying on that sea day. And I know on the 2-week ones, the Voyager, the Taste of Tropics and the Paradise Islands, I think there's 3 sea days. I'm not sure. I think there's the first day and then there's 2 sea days.
Right. Okay.
I'm not sure.
There's not many.
No, but either way,
I thought it was 1 on each cruise. It
gave us a great time. And if we're talking about the Voyager, that's the time to do your. Hopefully, it'll be the silent disco, because that on the Voyager is fantastic.
Yeah. But Silver Fork, my favourite restaurant on Voyager. The food was just amazing. I loved it. So, although it's the most expensive, if you really want to treat yourself and enjoy yourself, the food was. And the service and the restaurant itself has been done out so nice. It is a treat. So Silver Fork, if you get the opportunity, then certainly think about doing it, because it is a wonderful restaurant.
Can we just quickly say as well, again, that if you have done Coralars on the other ships, Voyager is different.
Oh, Voyager
so
is way better.
It's a different menu altogether. It's fantastic.
Make sure you have the Thalia. It's 4 different curries.
Is it called Thalia?
It's called the Thalia.
Louise, it's not named after your daughter, okay? I know she's Natalia.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh, I have to say, though, that the Voyager for me has had the best food. You're in for a treat if you're going on Voyager because all of the specialities were top class. Tortola, amazing. And so was Surf and Turf.
Surf and Turf for me was my least favourite on there.
And probably me, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, because it was just overshadowed by Tortola and what do we do? No, we didn't.
A quick ta-ra to Michelle, who's got to go. Lovely having you with us. Thanks for coming.
Have a great night. Hopefully we'll catch you soon on the next one. Oh, which I must remind you all that I might not be on the next one.
No, I think we should try perhaps a change of day. Okay. Maybe try one on a Sunday or something, earlier on a Sunday.
I'm going to be training Monday to Friday, and I think Mike's a bit scared to do it on his own.
I'll do it on my own. I'm not scared.
But I did say to him he could invite, I'm sure there's a way that I could be invited in as a guest, but hey-ho.
Yeah, we're still only on our third one, and I do plan at some point to move away from YouTube's platform for doing live streams and looking at others, which will give us more opportunity to do more. But I don't want to do that until I definitely know the live stream is going to be a regular thing that we do. We enjoy doing them, so I don't see why it won't be. So at some point, maybe when he's away, Monday to Friday, and I've got all this time on my hand, I'll have a look at one of these other platforms.
Yes, right.
So sea days, plenty to do. They organise plenty around the ship. Actually, it's sometimes nice to have a sea day, isn't it?
Sorry.
What have I done?
I keep interrupting. No, you know nothing. But we've forgotten something really important. So the team that work on the lock-in and the heist, they also on the sea day do a murder mystery, and it involves everybody. So whoever goes along. I mean, on ours, there's been about 140 people.
Yeah, it started. Was it in Flutes? Oh, it started by some stairs.
It started where the photo booths are, I think.
Right,
and then went.
And then you keep moving to different locations around the ship, and it's quite funny because there must have been about 50 or so people that turned up for ours.
I reckon there was over 100 people.
Oh, do you think there was that many?
Easy.
Oh, right. Easy. I wasn't counting. But anyway, it's great fun. They move all around the ship, and obviously you do this murder mystery. Dave took his notepad and pen.
Proper police style, working it all out like that, writing everything down.
I think he thought he was Sherlock Holmes.
It didn't matter.
Wrote everything down, and it was pointless. Don't take it too seriously,
like me,
like you.
Trying to investigate.
But it was good fun, and I think it was a fairly new thing they were doing. And to me, it was good, but I think there was a lot of scope for it to become much, much better. So hopefully by now, it will be even better.
And it's such a shame though, because that cast that we saw, they move over every 3 months, is it? Or 6 months?
I think it's about every 6 months they change.
6 months, which is such a shame because I've seen, and this is no disrespect to the ones before them, I've seen them, and they were good. But these three were just out of this world. They were impeccable, and they were so funny and such talented actors.
Dave, can I just
Sorry, the dog's kicking off.
Oh, she's getting a bit heavy for me.
So not only is there that, you've got the quizzes, you've got, I'm pretty sure in the night they do a karaoke, the band jam, that sort of stuff on the sea day. There's a lot of entertainment on the sea day. There's a lot of things going on.
Sue's asked, is it worth paying extra for premium drinks?
Right, Sue. Here we go, right? So on Discovery 2, we went premium, okay? And we vowed that we were going to try and get through every cocktail on that list. Well, what happened was we found a couple of drinks that we liked and we just stuck with those, and they weren't even on the premium. Yeah. So with the next cruise that we did, we stayed all-inclusive, and that worked for us because there's so much on the all-inclusive. Yeah. It depends if you are, this is going to sound awful now, if you are into your brands, okay? Because at the end of the day, you've still got brands on the all-inclusive like Smirnoff and things like that. But if you like Grey Goose, for example, that's on the premium. So you're still getting the same drinks. If you're having normal drinks,
just the brands,
different branding. However, the cocktails, if you are different.
This book, I managed to get one on Explorer. I first came across this book on Discovery 2. I tried to get one on Marella Voyager, and there was none to be had anywhere, unfortunately. All the details in here is going to be on the menus on the Navigate, but I find it very fiddly to get through each of the menus on the Navigate app. This book is brilliant because it gives you every drink. what's the blue is premium, and the whites are all inclusive. And so, if you can get this book, as I say, definitely we got it no problem on Explorer and Discovery too, but we couldn't get it on the Voyager. But we have gotten into the drink video with all these pages on it. I'll try and put the link above at some point in the future, but definitely worth going through this and thinking, how much would it, because we decided for the last 2 cruises to go all inclusive, and we have the occasional, I like coffee, so we have the occasional treat of a coffee in Coffee Port. Now, I think our bar bill was about 30 odd quid on the last cruise. And so, you know, you don't have to go without, you can still treat yourself to the odd treat.
Yeah.
I'd say the only time it's worth going premium is if you particularly drink a certain brand. I mean, surprisingly, I love Bailey's, but that's on the all-inclusive. So if you can, check out our drinks video, because you can go through these pages one by one. It lists wines, beers, ciders, soft drinks, and work out yourself whether you think it's, you know, you need to go premium. I mean, I have to say, I don't think you can go far wrong whatever you do, because premium at £90 if you book it on the ship and £80 if you pre-book it, I think represents fantastic value for money. We just felt we didn't need to spend £160 for the extra drinks when we could still have, I mean, I love the mudslide. The mudslide cocktail is probably the best premium.
Sorry, it's premium, Sue. Aperol Spritz is premium. So what I would recommend to do, Sue, if it were me, is if you're on a 2-week cruise, is it a 2-week cruise? If you are, I would go all-inclusive on the first, have a mess around, see what you like, see what you don't like, because the wine is great, that sort of stuff. And then if you want to indulge on the second week, go to guest services downstairs and upgrade to that the second week for 90 quid.
But you will be paying £10 more than if you'd pre-booked it.
You will be, but you're not paying the extra for the week previous. I
think you'd be surprised how much is available on the all-inclusive. And as I say, the only thing I had extra, I treated myself to a mudslide, and I like the odd speciality coffee in Coffee Port. And it came in way less. We spent 30 odd quid instead of 160 quid. But if you drink Aperol Spritz and you drink quite a few of them,
you can't get it.
Then you know it may well be worth you doing the premium.
You can't get it. You can't even get it. Make it yourself, because like what we do is we tend to make our own drinks. So we tend to make our own cocktails there. And get all the stuff on the all-inclusive and make it ourselves, but you can't do that with Aperol because it's just Aperol. Yeah. There's no other version.
Because I do think that they don't measure drinks properly, so cocktails are very much just thrown together. And I know that when we were, they were, because we found now that we order
virgin
without virgin, and then we add then we have a shot of alcohol to put in so that we can mix it how we like it, and that works a lot better. I mean, I just think that the cocktails on the whole we found disappointing, apart from the mudslide. And I do like my pina colada.
We're creatures of habit, Sue, and at the end of the day, we know what we like, we stick with it. And unfortunately for us, it's on the all-inclusive what we like.
When you think that people like P&O charge 50 quid per day for drinks.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Up a bit more than that.
Up a bit more. Well,
I think you're looking about about 60 quid a day.
Right. And then that tells you how good Marella are. It's a massive, massive selling point for Marella. And I just hope they never change, really. But if you can get this book, it is so much easier. I don't know why. I guess they're doing away, you know, with a lot of things like this. I'll hold it closer. I don't know what page I'm on, but, you know, it's just so easy. You know, I will say there are exceptions in here. This book, as I say, is featured on our video. I think it's called Updated Drinks Package or something. If there is a star next to it, what does a star mean? I've forgotten.
Star means No, star means it's the cross that means there's a
The cross
charge.
means that there's a charge even if you're on premium, and that tends to be for things like champagne.
Star means.
I can't remember what the star means. Is it just that it's premium?
I think it means there's a charge if you're on all-inclusive. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it is.
The cross is there's a charge if you're on premium.
Yeah.
Can I just quickly say though, judging this, so Mike said £90 for the week on P&O. It's £60.50 per day.
Wow.
Per day
Wow.
for the same thing.
Wow.
So premium is everything involved. What you get in there as well. You don't get bottles of champagne, that sort of stuff. It's the same with that. But you're looking at £60.50 per day on P&O, where it's 90 quid for the week. So it's good value.
It's fantastic value for money. So as I say, you can't go wrong. But what we did, we had premium, and it isn't necessary for us. But as I say, I think the best way is go through the book, see what you can have to drink. There is a lot of choice. And work out for yourself what's best. And even if you pay the premium, then you're getting really good value for money. Right.
Vanessa, we love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
John, do you do the dress to impress night? My Tobago suit needs to know. My favourite. Right.
Oh, don't talk about suits.
We don't. Right. So, John, I have got a tuxedo upstairs with everything on it, all the bells and whistles, and it's been worn twice in my life. Once on Celebrity.
That was for our Celebrity, yeah.
And once when I sang in a concert. I've never worn it again. I hate
you
wearing
wouldn't fit
suits.
in it now.
I know, I wouldn't, to be fair. I hate wearing suits. And the reason why I love Dress to Impress night on Marella is because you don't have to wear a suit. You can wear whatever you feel is nice, you know, and I like that about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think a tracksuit is out of order. And I think that maybe walking around in flip-flops and stuff on Dress to Impress night is a bit out of order. But people go all out. I mean, people will wear sequin suits, or like with us, I know Jack's got quite a nice sort of style that he likes himself, and he wears a nice tailored pair of shorts, a white shirt and braces, and it looks really smart. Marco as well will wear braces and trousers.
I tend to just wear usually white shorts and a shirt.
And the same shirt and trousers.
But I don't overdo it. You don't need to. But
it's Ted Baker.
If you want to make an occasion of it, people do dress up in suits, dinner jackets. You know, women wear nice gowns, but it's way, I'd say about 10%.
Yeah.
Most people just go with trousers and a polo.
Avid cruisers that do all the lines, they love to dress up. And I respect that. You know, that's the tradition, that one night of really going all out and dressing up. And I love that. The reason why we love Marella is because we don't have to take a suit, because if we're going on a 1 week cruise, we got a whole suit for one night, and that's it.
We had a wedding last weekend, and neither of us fitted in that suit.
I am trying though. I'm hiking more now.
And I'm on it now. He's doing this course, and he's away Monday to Friday. I won't be tempted with his beautiful cooking. And I'm dieting now till Christmas, so watch me shrink.
Can I just say, 19,000 steps today, everybody.
Oh, you're showing off.
Thank you very much.
I've done 9. I've got little legs.
So yeah, John, you can wear whatever you fancy. The Ted Baker suit would fit in. I'd actually quite like to see it because I like Ted Baker. But yeah, fair play.
Marella's great because you can, as long as, I mean, they don't obviously allow swimwear into the, you know, places like Latitude or Vista, or, you know, that's for the snack shack and the buffet. But, you know, you don't have to overdress everywhere.
Can I just say, hi, Gemma, love you. Right, what's he got? Right, so it's boob tube top and kind of. Now, John, I think we'd all love to see that. So please post a picture in the comments if you can. Right, so moving on. So we've done. We're
on sea day. So quickly, St Vincent. Okay. St Vincent again. We decided to do our own thing and walk into the town. And oh my God, St Vincent, you would not believe it. It was a real culture shock. Tell them about it, Dave.
So first things first, you come into this lovely port, music playing, all that sort of stuff.
Donna, hi.
Hi, Donna. And then you leave the port and you come into their actual working market town. It is busy. It stinks. It's dirty.
They're selling stuff out of car boots. There's cafes on top of cars, and it's just crazy.
But I suppose it's it's their culture. It's the way they are.
Noisy, and there's traffic everywhere, and it is a real cultural shock. It was by far the busiest port that we stopped at. Whether we just hit it on a market day.
Well, not just so much of a market day, Mick, also probably the hottest day. It was boiling. The humidity was disgusting. But anyway, we decided we were going to walk. Go on.
We decided we were going to go to the botanical gardens.
Yes. Don't pinch my line.
Go on then.
So we were going to walk to the botanical garden. So I had the map out, and we set our route, and we were off. And of course, we finally got through the town, and it had cleared up a little bit. It had become a bit nicer, a bit quieter. And we came across this lovely a couple of churches, but one of them
was Gothic looking, wasn't it? It was
very
black.
dark, very dirty, but very Gothic in its style. And we went in, and it was beautiful.
It was like there was like a little chapel in there as well, and
with gardens.
Beautiful gardens, waterfall. So that was quite a find, and we didn't expect that. And it was lovely.
And then we walked up, and I saw that dog that was dying, which God rest his soul. You know,
and that sort of spoiled his day, didn't it? Oh, charge Apple Watch.
Forget Alexa.
Forget that.
So, yes, and then we carried on walking. It was quite a slog for anyone that wants to do it. It's all uphill.
It was hard.
If you've got issues, do not do it. It's hard.
Yeah.
You going to let me speak or what?
Sorry, I can't get a word in.
Drink your drink. You haven't touched it.
Right, refill.
So we then came to the botanical gardens, and this is where it went a little bit downhill for me because we were hot. We were dripping. We didn't bring much water with us. We thought it was closer than it was. And we were pounded on straight away for people trying to give us tours around the botanical gardens. And I didn't want that. I wanted to be left alone, to look around, to film, that sort of stuff. And they wouldn't leave us alone. And I think we got snappy, didn't we, a little bit?
I have to say, it was quite cheap to have yourself a guide. And I'm sure if you were really into plants and flora and fauna, you would benefit from having a guide to explain everything to you. And as I say, I think it was only about $3 to have a guide take you round. But it wasn't something that we wanted. We just wanted to do our own thing at our own
Well, we were filming, so it's very rude of us to be ignoring the guide while we're just off filming. So we didn't need it, but they wouldn't take no for an answer. But anyway, by the way, we got out of there. We managed to look around. It was pretty.
Yeah. It was pretty, but again, I wouldn't recommend it. It was not worth the half an hour, 40-minute walk to get to it.
There was no bar on site, no drinks, so we were dying.
And there was like the bird rescue place, but you couldn't see the birds. You could walk around the cages, but you couldn't see any.
Yeah, it wasn't great, to be fair.
Perhaps they'd all gone.
So that's what we did there. We went back then, and I think we just chilled out for the day because it was so hot. We were exhausted.
Do you know the trip that I wish we'd have done? And if anybody's done it, I so wish we'd have gone to Bakia. I've heard such lovely things about Bakia.
You said this to John last time.
I know. Well, I'm saying it again. And if anybody is going and they're going to Bakia, then please let me know what it was like, because if it's really, really nice, then we might have to go back sometime.
I've had like 3 glasses to most one.
Anyway, we're way over our time, but we can't go without talking about St Lucia.
Oh, quickly then, in a nutshell, St Lucia. There is a video if anyone wants to see it. But St Lucia was a beautiful day. We've done a boat tour before. This was our second one. This time we went to Pigeon Island first.
Yeah.
Tell us about Pigeon Island, Michael.
Well, I mean, we wanted to do the catamaran because when we went with Celebrity, it was a beautiful day, and the ride out to the Pitons was just amazing. And so we wanted our friends who were joining us this time, we wanted them to sort of see and enjoy what we saw. But this one also included Pigeon Island, and we went to Pigeon Island first. And when we pulled up at the dock, there was a beautiful beach there, but that wasn't the beach that we were going to. We were taken through a gate into this, I suppose it's like a national park. And there was a beach there that we did go and have a swim, but it wasn't particularly very nice, was it?
No,
and
not at all.
There were a few things to look at the island, but we didn't have enough time to go and really explore the whole of Pigeon Island. We just wanted to swim because it was so hot. And then from there, we sort of got back on the boat, and you go all the way back the way you came and carried on then to the Pitons. And it was at this point that the weather really started to turn. We had the catamaran was brilliant. It was big. They were serving, was it rum?
It's always rum.
Lots of rum.
It's never not rum.
They were serving rum. Did we have food as well on there?
Oh, yes, we did. Can I talk about it?
Go on, tell them about the food.
Right, I'm a real picky bugger, right? I am weird with food, but they served. So first of all, have you told them all it was free drinks?
No.
So on the cruise, on the boat trip, it was free drinks all day. So whatever you want, soft drinks, whatever, it was free. And they were serving rum punch, and the rum punch was actually really nice, really warming. So I had a couple of those as well. But they were serving food. And if anyone's ever been to Turkey, sort of like post 1999 to pre 2010, the old boat trips over there used to have barbecues and salads and things like that. And I just fell in love with that sort of food. And on this boat, they served chicken, fish, salads, and it was all fresh. It was all cooked right there and then. It was absolutely stunning, and I just gobbled it up. It was lush.
It was beautiful food.
So nice.
And the fact that the drinks were free was like, it became, the weather, as I say, turned. Everybody that was outside on the netting, as orange netting, that I've always wanted to go on, but never have, because I didn't think it would be that comfy. Everybody, because the weather turned and it got a bit miserable, came inside the catamaran, but no problem, plenty of room. There were toilets on the catamaran as well. So at this point, we decided we'd go out onto the orange nets. Oh my God, I loved it. I rolled on there, because I was rolling by this time. I rolled on this orange net, and you know what? We did the scene from Titanic at the front of the catamaran, egged on by all the other passengers. And the netting was really comfy. I lay on there, and it was like, wow.
We were getting enchanted on, weren't we?
We were being encouraged.
But can I just quickly say, so the weather turning was actually the best thing that could have happened. Because pre this, everyone was a bit quiet. No one was talking, that sort of stuff. The weather turned. Everyone came inside. The drinks started flowing. And we decided to have a party on the boat. Considering it was our last day, before we went home the following day, it was the perfect ending for us, because we were on the ship, we're on the catamaran with some brilliant people that were just like-minded and wanted to have fun, but not going over the top. It wasn't booze,
we partied, we danced, we drank. It was a fabulous day. But interestingly, when we got back to the port, we were still all dancing and singing, and there were 2 catamarans gone from Tui, and the other one was really quiet, and they were all getting off the boat watching us. And I bet they were thinking,
well, one of them said, I want to be on that boat.
I know.
Because we were having a right old time. Right, so that is basically the end of it.
I did want to go in, but we will do this next time. I wanted to cover the last day and time to say goodbye, because I think a lot of people that probably haven't cruised before will be wondering, well, what's the procedure on the last day? We're too late to do that today, but we will cover that in probably the next one or one of the forthcoming ones. Not sure when the next one will be, but we'll try and get it out there when we can. As I say, it all depends on Dave's training schedule. Should we just pick up these last couple? Bakir was devastated by the hurricane. That's such a shame. So maybe it isn't worth at the moment then, until they've sorted it out. But if anybody does, I'd love to know what it was like.
Alan's put a lovely comment there.
Yeah.
Hey, both, it's taken me about 20 minutes to figure out how to comment on here. Love you, Per. Your channel is great. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
I'm off on the D2 next week, or a week on Tuesday for 2 weeks with the fam. You're going to love it. I love Discovery 2. I think it's a great ship. I love that atrium. You're so lucky. Discovery 2 has got,
one, if you haven't cruised before, it's an easy ship to navigate. Unlike Explorer and Voyager, where you have to go up a floor, down a floor, and to bypass certain things.
It's fluid.
The Discovery 2 is just so easy to find your way around. And there are areas on the Discovery 2 that you just look and think, wow, this might be 20, 30 years old, but oh my God, it still looks special.
And can I quickly say, make sure, Alan, that you get a good seat. Go with enough time for the final night. They do the Oh,
Yeah, it's like
what's the
it's
song?
like a staff farewell, isn't
But
it?
what's the song they sing?
Greatest Showman.
Yeah, but what's the song?
You know the Greatest Showman.
Yeah, but I can't remember the song. But anyway, they do that, and it's fantastic. We were lucky enough to be there. We love the rhubarb and ginger gin from there, so we were there early enough to get a seat.
Coffee Port's lovely on there as well.
Yeah,
it's a lovely ship.
You'll love it.
So hopefully you'll have a brilliant time.
Enjoy. Right, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
If there are topics that you'd like us to cover, then please send us suggestions.
Yeah.
If you haven't liked, please like this video. It helps us a great deal. If you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing.
Just tell them what subscribing doesn't mean actually paying.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you've got to pay. It's free to subscribe. And as I say, it really helps small channels like ours. It helps us with the analytics and stuff like that, but I won't go into all that. It's very boring. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions, then please send us a message. We have a Facebook page. If you haven't seen that, just look for Mida Travel on the Facebook. And if you've got anything you want us to cover on there, I've sort of started to spend a bit more time building that page. We were a bit slow getting started on Facebook, but it is building. And hopefully we'll have a look at what we do next time. I'd love to do some of the topics we've thought about is food and drink with Marella. We're thinking about first-time cruisers, solo travelers. So lots of things that we can cover in future. We obviously recently been on Explorer, and we'd like to do that as well. But we can't do it without all of you coming to see us. So thank you for coming to watch us. Some of you are really sort of great supporters of ours, and we really do appreciate that.
We do. We love you all so much. Right, everybody. That is. We're going to bid you farewell and good night from us and Lily, who's sleeping in a little bed over there.
Hi, Lee.
Just quickly show you her. There she is.
She's in the bed
over there. We wish you all a good night. Wendy.
Oh, Wendy. I haven't said hello to Wendy.
Where have you been?
Oh, Wendy gave us a great tip last time.
She the passion
for cruising.
Well,
that was
Wendy.
a great tip.
We're obsessed. Cheap last minute.
Oh,
cruises,
yes.
Please.
Well, I did in July. I did a bargain cruise, and I really been trying, but we had a sort of few days away last week, and with what's going on with Dave, I've fallen behind with some of the videos because we're hoping to get the part 3 of the Adriatic Explorer out this Sunday. But one of the things I'm also want to do is a once a month bargain cruises. So we'll definitely cover that on here sometime. I'll definitely try and put a bargain cruise out before the end of August, because I have been making sort of doing quite a bit of research into that. I just need to make the video, which hopefully I'll find a bit of time for once I get rid of him.
I just wish there's a way one day we can announce a cruise we're going on, so you can all book it and we can all have a laugh. Let's go on there and have an absolute laugh.
Well, that ain't going to happen for a while, is it?
But guys, thank you everybody. Wendy, Sue, Martin.
Yeah, you're
Diane,
all brilliant. Thank you.
Love you all so much. You have a great night. You were late to the party, Wendy.
Oh,
but
Wendy.
you came. She came.
Yes, she came last night, Wendy.
So did my mum.
Same with Eileen.
Yeah. Trevor, thank you, everybody. You all have a great night, and we'll see you all on the next live. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Bye. Take care and happy cruising.
Oh, it's still going.